Welcome back. Well, many of you are very active, playing tennis, golf, swimming, and sometimes you just might hurt yourself. So who do you see? Well, I have Dr. Gabe Carpio here, who's with Hoag Medical Group Sports Medicine. Tell me a little bit about your background.
So I went to school in Mexico, in Guadalajara, and I lived there for 4 years. Went to New York as a part of that same program. There's a partnership that they had with New York Medical College. And then I applied for residency in family medicine, which is something that I always saw myself doing. I really love primary care. I love the relationship that you form with the patient. So that was kind of always my route. And then I found sports medicine while in residency.
Okay.
It just kind of was something that seemed to fit my personality. Sports was a huge part of my life growing up. I was really shy growing up, so it helped me to kind of branch out, meet more people, and I felt like this was kind of my way to give back to those communities that I wanted to serve, and that's why I ended up doing sports medicine after that. So I did my other fellowship in Chicago as well, and then I moved back in July.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so now what kind of work do you do with sports medicine? Is it mostly therapy, or what would you say?
So I mean, it's primary care, non-surgical, orthopedic kind of stuff. So anything that you can think that you could go to orthopedics for, fractures, sprains, strains, those are things that I manage. But on top of that, I also manage concussions. I manage chronic medical conditions, asthma, especially in athletes, diabetes, skin conditions, and like wrestlers and other people that might need to be ready for like a competition or something like that. Mm-hmm. But then I also manage a lot of degenerative joint diseases that happen in areas where there's lots of impact, such as the back, the knee, shoulders take a lot of abuse as well. So I manage a lot of that stuff too.
So as I mentioned, our seniors, they play a lot of tennis and golf, and obviously the back is a problem for golf, and then for tennis you have knees and a variety of other things because of the hard court surfaces.
And elbows. And
right. So tell me, what are some of the things that seniors should be looking out for when they are being active?
I think the biggest thing is form. I think a lot of times as we grow up, and this affects young and old alike, is that form isn't quite the emphasis for what they're doing. They just want to do whatever activity they're doing. So if they want to golf, they just want to swing. They don't really think about the actual mechanics that go into swinging, or if they like baseball, or if they like tennis, or if they like whatever sport. A lot of times it's just that one activity that they want to try and improve on. And when they do that, they have a tendency to overwork smaller muscle groups, or overwork certain groups in general, and that can lead to injury. That can lead to chronic, tendinitises and things like that.
Right. So then, what would you say to seniors, other than making sure you have proper form?
Sure.
What are some other things that they should be looking out for, especially if you have some kind of degenerative?
So the big thing is, I'm a huge fan of physical therapy. Physical therapy kind of helps you balance everything. So I think not just focusing on the one thing that you like, but trying to kind of get overall strength that allows you to do some of these activities. I think it's extremely important to warm up, especially as we get older. As we get older, and I'm talking like in my 30s, I mean, I recently got injured because I didn't warm up properly, you know what I mean? So like, I think focusing more on warming up, and we're talking more like active warming up, not the way that it used to be taught, which was just kind of that static stretching, the reach, touch your toes for 20 seconds. Nowadays it's a little bit more of that active warm up, jogging, stretching. Yoga is a great way to kind of warm up, and then stretching after the workout as well. A lot of that injury prevention, because injury prevention is kind of the one thing that can keep you active, and keeping you active can add years to your life.
Right. And what would you say to those who aren't active? I mean, while we have lots of people who are very active, there's others who are not. And as I've noticed, when you aren't active, then you have trouble walking and things like that. So what would you say to them?
I would just try to stress the importance of doing something. I think activity as a whole, at least for me, and I think for many people, activity as a whole kind of allows you to be more social. It allows you to be a part of the community, even if it's just like an individual sport, you know, like golf or something like that. You still can go golfing with some friends, and it becomes more of just like a social gathering than just being active. And then being active also allows you to be able to do more of the things that you love. Even sit comfortably. If you're not super active, you stiffen up, and you can start getting back pain. You can start getting hip pain, leg pain from being from sitting on a couch, in a chair for too long, not being active. So even if you want to just sit there and relax, it's important to be active to an extent so that you can do those things comfortably as well.
Well, I know there's a very popular show that we have here in the mornings. It's called chair yoga.
Oh, yes.
And so they do a lot of exercising with the chair. So I mean, like you said, even if you are doing it that way, it still would be helpful no matter what.
It absolutely would be helpful. One of the few things that has been shown to be beneficial in degenerative joint diseases in the back and the knees anywhere is actually exercise. There's very few medications that are very effective, but exercise for whatever reason actually does help a lot with pain control, and it also helps for the shoulders too, because there's a lot of injuries that can happen over the course of time, not just a fall that can cause that.
And let's talk a little bit about some of the medications. I mean, people might even self-medicate themselves, right?
Absolutely.
Or they see commercials about you can have this juice, or you can use MSM, or a whole bunch of different things. Do you believe in some of those things?
I believe in anything that works with the least amount of side effects possible. So if we're talking like supplements with vitamins, supplements with like glucosamine, you hear a lot about for the knees, is there research that says that it is better for you, that it actually works? There's not much that supports it, but is it going to hurt? Do some people swear by it? Do some people get some relief from it? Yeah, absolutely. So why would I discourage that if it's not going to hurt you? You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel. I do think it's important to do, reading and to discuss, the possible side effects and outcomes that can come from it. And as long as you do it fully knowledgeable of everything, I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Now, I assume that you refer people to physical therapists.
I do.
And is there anything in particular that someone should be looking for in a physical therapist? I mean, there's a lot of different things. There's machines and there's physical hand work. I mean, tell me what you would recommend.
So when it comes to physical therapy, I think a big part of it is finding somebody that you kind of click with. A lot of times, if you don't necessarily click with the therapist that you're going to, you just feel like they're just telling you what to do, or they're not paying attention to you, or something like that. But if you're going there with that similar goal, you want that special kind of attention, you just got to find somebody that you can develop that kind of relationship with. I think that's probably the most important part. I think depending on where you are, there are obviously some that are better than others, but for the most part, I've had really good experience with a lot of the physical therapy places in my area. Yeah.
Okay, and then let's talk about your facility.
Sure.
So where you're located, right over here.
So located in Irvine, off of Barranca, and it's kind of right after Jeffrey.
Okay.
Kind of working your way north.
All right. Okay, good. And then the facility itself, do you have physical therapy in there or not?
We don't have physical therapy on site yet. We do have physical therapy at Hoag. We have one at the Newport facility. We also have one at the Irvine Hospital facility as well. And then there's lots of other physical therapy places in that area within a couple blocks of us. So there's definitely lots to choose from. There's lots of physical therapies in this area. Working out of Irvine doesn't restrict me to just like that area. It just happens to be the one that I work with the most.
Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah, but like I'm trying to kind of expand and get to know other good physical therapy sites that patients can be sent to.
All right, well, great. Well, thank you very much for the information. It was very nice to meet you.
Absolutely, nice meeting you too.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so if you are an active senior or not an active senior, do stay active and know that the Hoag Medical Group is there to help you. We'll be right back after this.